elders usually say that when a child is born, a journey begins. Years passed in Umuaka village, and Ada's son, Chibuikem, grew like a palm tree planted near a river. He was tall, calm, and wise beyond his age. His father, Chief Oji, was proud of him. Even the elders said, "This child is not ordinary. He carries the favor of Chukwokike Abiama." But not everyone celebrated him. Ijeoma's jealousy deepens. Ijeoma, the second wife, she had 3 daughters, Amaka, Uloma, and Kosiso. They were beautiful children, cheerful and lively, but their mother's bitterness became a shadow over their lives. Ijeoma could not stand the way the village praised Ada's son. She whispered to herself at night, "So after all my suffering, I'll be pushed aside? Is it this one child that will rise above my tree?" Her jealousy hardened like clay in the sun. She began poisoning the minds of her daughters. One afternoon, as she braided Amaka's hair, she warned her, "Stop following that boy everywhere. You people should not be too close." Amaka looked confused. "But Mama, he's kind. He helps us. He even shares his food." Ijeoma snapped her fingers in irritation. "Na kindness person dey chop? I said avoid him." But children do not know the weight of adult hatred. They saw no differences between them. They continued to play together when their mother was not watching. They loved Chibuikem because he was gentle and often helped them with chores. This angered Ijeoma even more. One hot afternoon, the children went to the village stream to play. The water was cool and they splashed one another with laughter. But suddenly, Amaka, the eldest of Ijeoma's children, slipped on a wet rock. She screamed as the water dragged her away. The stream pulled her like a strong hand. Children shouted. They ran around helplessly. But before anyone could think twice, Chibuikem jumped in. He fought the water with all his strength. He held Amaka tightly and pulled her to safety. When they returned home dripping wet, the whole compound rushed out in fear and relief. Chief Oji quickly carried both children inside. Ada wrapped them with warm clothes. Villagers praised Chibuikem. "This child is brave. He has a good heart. He saved a life today." But while others celebrated, Ijeoma stepped out of her hut with anger on her face. She looked at her drenched daughter, then at Chibuikem. Instead of thanking him, she hissed loudly, "So because your mother finally born one child, you are now doing hero. Leave my daughter alone." The crowd gasped. Even her daughters lowered their heads in shame. Chief Oji scolded her. "Ijeoma, this boy saved our daughter, yet you insult him. What spirit has entered you?" Ijeoma stormed into her hut and slammed the door. That night, she cried, but her tears were not of repentance. They were of envy and jealousy. People say jealousy is like a seed. If you water it, it grows into something dangerous. One night, after tossing and turning on her mat, Ijeoma whispered to herself, "If I don't act fast, this boy will rise above my daughters. I must do something. What if this boy becomes the next chief instead of my daughters benefiting from their father's honor?" Her thoughts twisted into darkness. She waited until the moon was high, then tied a scarf around her head and sneaked quietly out of the compound. She walked deep into the forest to the hut of the old herbalist, Nwadioku. A man feared for his strange medicines and powers. The hut was dark and smoky. Strange calabash hung from the roof. A small fire burned in the middle, releasing a sharp smell that stung Ijeoma's nose. The old man stared at her with pale eyes. "What brings you here, wife of Chief Oji?" Ijeoma looked around nervously and whispered, "I want something that will make my stepson fall sick. Something that will weaken him and render him useless." The herbalist chuckled, a deep, threatening sound. "You want to fight a child that carries light? Be careful, woman. Some destinies cannot be touched. Some battles destroy those who start them." But Ijeoma was blinded with jealousy. It had deafened her ears. "Give me what I need," she insisted. After a long silence, the herbalist brought out a small black charm. "Place this where his feet will pass. When he walks over it, his strength will fade. But remember, the one who starts a dark journey may not return safely." Ijeoma grabbed the charm and rushed home. Before dawn, she tiptoed outside to bury the charm near the path she became usually took to fetch firewood. Just as she bent down, her youngest daughter, Kosiso, walked out sleepily. "Mama, what are you doing outside?" Startled, Ijeoma jumped, and the charm slipped from her fingers and landed straight on top of her own foot. She screamed. The charm burned her skin instantly, like fire from hot charcoals. She staggered backward and collapsed. Kosiso screamed for help. Ada and Oji rushed to the scene. The whole compound gathered, whispering, "What happened to her foot? Why is she foaming at the mouth? Did she step on something?" But Ijeoma's lips trembled. She knew exactly what had happened. She had set a trap for an innocent child and walked into it herself. The herbalist's voice echoed in her ears. Some battles destroy those who start them. Ijeoma knew the truth. Fear consumed her. For the first time since she entered the compound of Chief Oji, she wept. Not in arrogance, but in regret. That same evening, while lying weak in her hut, Ijeoma broke down in tears again. She called Ada with a trembling voice. "Ada, forgive me. I wanted to harm your son. Jealousy blinded me, but the charm caught me instead. Please forgive me. I am finished. I am sorry." Ada's heart broke. How could Ijeoma think of such evil? All this while, she had shown Ijeoma and her children love. Why did Ijeoma choose hatred? Why would you try to harm an innocent child? Have I ever wronged you? We are both women. We both know pain. She asked Ijeoma. The entire compound went silent. Chief Oji stared in disbelief. The villagers were ashamed on Ijeoma's behalf. Even the herbalist, who somehow heard the commotion, arrived and declared, "This woman fought destiny. Envy has no victory." Chief Oji asked the herbalist for a cure, but he said that there was no cure. The only solution was cutting off one of her legs immediately to avoid the charm spreading throughout her body. Ijeoma was told what the herbalist said. She wailed and begged for another solution, but there wasn't. Eventually, the affected leg was amputated. She was in terrible pains. It was as if she went to hell and came back. As months passed, Ijeoma slowly recovered. During her healing, Ada visited her daily. She cooked for her, washed her clothes, and helped with her daughters. One afternoon, Ijeoma broke down in tears. Ada, you have a clean heart. I wronged you. I wronged your son, yet you show me love. Please forgive me. Ada held her hands and said gently, we are co-wives. Rivalry will destroy our home. Let us raise our children in peace. I forgive you. For the first time ever, Ijeoma hugged Ada, and peace slowly returned to Oji's household. Chibuikem continued to grow strong and wise. People said his footsteps carried blessings. Whenever disputes broke out in the village, they called him to settle it, even though he was still young. Ijeoma's daughters loved Ada deeply because of her kindness. She treated them as her own. Even Ijeoma became a new woman, humble, calmer, and graceful. She protected Chibuikem with the same zeal she protected her girls. Chief Oji finally had peace in his household. A house once divided became one. Years later, when Oji became old and the elders needed a young leader, they chose Chibuikem, not because he was the first son, not because he was Ada's son, but because he had the wisdom, humility, and strength that a true leader carries. On the day he was coronated, drums beat loudly, women danced, men poured palm wine on the earth. Ijeoma danced the most, even with her one leg. She held Chibuikem's hand proudly and shouted, "This boy is my son too. Let the whole village hear it." Ada smiled at her, tears in her eyes, tears of joy, of peace, of answered prayers. At last, the household was one, and Umuaka village remembered the story for generations.